It's funny, years ago, he and I met and talked about doing it, which never happened until now. But I was a huge admirer of Bill's, and so the minute they said it, I said, I have to do it.
So you had been wanting to do this for a long time, and then...
I've been making a great test to myself in the Broadway district, saying that this play could exist on a large canvas. You could do this play in a Broadway house. People tended to be interested, but I think largely polite.
Polite and skeptical.
Yes, I think probably good. It's known to be a play that should be done in a small, dark theater for 80, 90 seats. When I would mention that, for instance, like with Nathan Lane in the Estragon role, then eyes went up a little higher. It still was a very hard thing for people to envision, I think, as a commercial production. But the Roundabout, one of our great non-profit theaters where it's the mission to do classic plays, when they became the producers, everything started to make sense and it fell into line. And the thought of this partnership and those roles seemed to make sense. And here we are, fortunately.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but why did you let him sit there in agony, waiting for the call?
Little does he know that I was talking to nothing else but his name. But it's the way of Broadway that people have to think about things for a long time and play with the names on a piece of paper. And I would say, yeah, but Nathan, yeah, but Nathan, yeah, but Nathan. When the time comes for a thing to happen, it does happen.
John, this is just one of many. The nomination is just one of many honors for you. Tell me what doing this has meant for you, how you see this performance.
It was experience. Well, I mean, I was like Goody. I wanted to flee because I didn't. I thought I'd fall right on my ass and fail in front of everybody because I had no way in. It was like what my teacher used to call an organ reject. This part to me, I couldn't figure out how I could get in because I didn't understand it. But because I was so scared, I thought that's a sure sign that I'm supposed to do it. But when I saw the ad and I wasn't a part of it, I remember how jealous I got. But then when they called and said, it's Lucky, they want you to do Lucky now, or we're going to suggest you. And I went, no, I can't. I made up 1,000 reasons why I shouldn't do it until I took a hold of myself and shook myself and said, don't be a fool.
When did you get it?
I wasn't sure when I did. What I stopped doing was trying to beat myself up because I couldn't get it right away. It was a big lesson in trust for me. I just trusted myself that with these guys, I had worked with Anthony Page in '75 in a production of King Lear with Morris Kornowski that he directed. So I knew that I watched him try to get Morris to do other things, because Morris had done it about 3 or 4 times before. I remember there was one point where he tried to get Morris to turn his back to the audience and rage at these 2 big gates that his daughters had closed on him. And he was so patient about it, so I figured he'd have patience. So I just said, just keep your shoulders down. I knew I'd worked with Nathan a couple of times, and he came knowing so much about the play, and Bill had played Lucky very successfully once, so I tried just to block that out of my mind but I just tried to relax and not flog myself if I couldn't get it right away.
And then it worked.
I just kept working.
Yeah. Oh, here is your soliloquy. Roll tape.
Now I gotta watch me. Oh, Lord.
So fast I resume the skull, fading, and concurrently, simultaneously, what is more, in spite of the tennis, on, the beard, the flames, the tears, the sorrow blue, sorrow, alas, on the skull, in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, the racers, abandoned, left unfinished, the skull, tennis, kudos, unfinished.
You know, it's like I got the Lisa Kirk number, the specialty number. I've been true to you, darling, in my fashion. You know, the showstopper. I got these fun little things, that's all I do. Yeah. So, when we were in rehearsal, people would say to me, I remember I was out with Joe Hardy and Richard,
Richard.
You know, and he said, oh, it's Lucky's play, Lucky's play. I thought, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't get this role. So
And now you know, because it's a soap opera.
yeah, I guess, but they talk about, it still befuddles me. I know how to do it, and I understand Lucky and this relationship that Goody and I have together, which we never spoke about. Now, actors talk about it back, and you can't talk about anything. It's been so wonderful. But it's all there, the relationship. It's amazing.
Well, he doesn't really give you, he doesn't really give you much to go on. The playwright. I mean, he doesn't. It's not like you can build. That's one of the difficulties. Is it's not like there's a lot of information to build a backstory.
The backstory would be superfluous. I'd rather not deal with it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was my perception, my way of dealing with it.
Yeah, he once said, success and failure on the public level never mattered much to me. In fact, I feel more at home with the latter.
He loved when people walked in.
Theater folk.
He didn't turn down the
He's a fan of the theater. If they don't like it, screw them. What does Anthony Page bring to this?
Patience.
Patience is the word.
A great deal of patience and compassion, and he had directed the first revival of the play in London, so he worked with Mr. Beckett, and so he definitely had insights into the piece and things that he remembered Sam saying, and so that was very helpful. But he also was the first one to sort of say, you know what, you can't treat it so reverently. We have to be free to explore on our own. And certainly, even when Beckett directed it famously in 1975 in Berlin, this famous production, even he said, oh, it needs some cutting. I can't make it.
Beckett directed it and said, I need to cut this play right.
He definitely made several cuts.
Or who the hell wrote this?
And certainly was open to actors' suggestions and trying things, and so Anthony was created a great atmosphere, but it was very difficult. There were days when we thought, oh, I don't know. It's elusive. It's one thing when you read it on the page, and then when you start to do it, you think, this is impossible.
There was one woman that came backstage, and she was furious because she said, it is just not right that you have improvised with Beckett's words like that, the way you have. Which is completely untrue.
Yes,
but it's just
and
the way
you think it is like
every word that Beckett wrote, we say. There's no improvisation.
But that's what a great compliment.
Yes,
that's
it
the
is.
highest compliment.
Yes, the
and
highest.
it seemed like an improvisation.
And that's why this production, I think, is so successful, because it's about people, not about...
You didn't see me come out in the nurse's uniform.
that was the night. Would most of you, or all of you, put this pretty high in terms of your own theatrical experience?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, unforgettable. I
It's
mean,
the absolute zenith, darling.
You want to do this so badly. It's just,
Here we are. We do it every night. You know, the thing about Anthony Page, you asked about him, his eye is so intense. This is as Nathan says, there were tough times. This is my memory of the first few days of rehearsal. Nathan would do something, and Anthony could hardly contain his glee. And I would say something, and I realized there was something amiss. He would mutter a note. He had a lot of work to do to bring me to where he thought Vladimir should be. And I went with it as best I could and resisted it sometimes. I came to see that feelings hurt or not, he was right. And then the partnership, I think, really settled him. So I thank you for that.
Congratulations, one and all. Thank you very much.
thank you so much for having us.
Roundabout Theater Company production playing at the Studio 54 Theater until July 12th. July 12th. Again, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. See you next time.